This Beelzebub and Yuno twist can change the entire hierarchy of the Underworld. And today in this video, I'm going to explain what exactly the twist may be. And I know a lot of you guys who saw the thumbnail and title are probably wondering, okay, J Cloud, what point are you trying to make here in this video? Well, the first point is you pointing your finger to the subscribe button and turning notification bells on and leaving a like for this video because I appreciate it. However, the other point for this topic is the return of the Dark Triad, and why they return is also connected to the Beelzebub and Yuno theory. So let's talk about the Dark Triad's return and why it is so important to Beelzebub and Yuno. Currently, right now, it is unconfirmed that Vanica and Dante have died in the story. However, when it comes to Zenon, I think it's confirmed because we see his body is splitting and Yuno cut his heart, and we know when you cut a devil's heart, they disintegrate and they die. However, even if the Dark Triad, all of them are dead or alive, it does not matter because Tabata has been foreshadowing their return ever since chapter 278, which was titled Undying Bodies. At the time, we did not know what this meant because it was so vague. We just knew that it was Dante, Vanica, and Zenon on the color page with that vague title, looking like they are being born again in some Lazarus pit, but we did not think too much on it. Then in chapter 307, we get the introduction of the fourth Zograt sibling. Now, we didn't think too much on this as well because we was like, okay, there's a fourth member out there who has not revealed themselves yet. But in chapter 310, we start to understand what is this other sibling's motives are. Based on his dialogue, he states the weak die easily. It's impossible to protect them all. In that case, we will destroy them temporarily, then we'll regenerate them, this time with undying bodies. The fourth Zograt sibling explains that with their devil's power, they can recreate humanity, which makes a lot of sense because given the fact that all the Dark Triad members have some sort of body magic type, where Zenon with bones, Dante with body magic, Vanica with blood, so that means that the other fourth Zograt sibling gotta have something that deals with the brain. So with their powers and the dialogue of the fourth sibling, it makes sense that the Dark Triad will be back and they are only dead temporarily and will come back in undying bodies. However, who's going to bring them back? The best prediction for this has to be the fourth Zograt sibling. It's the reason why Tabata has not shown this man's face or had him outside the picture, and I believe that since the Diamond Kingdom majority of that kingdom is now overrun by the Spade, I do believe that the fourth Zograt sibling probably took control of that area and let his other siblings take control of the Spade by killing off all the weak ones in the Spade to create this Undying Bodies army, leaving them in charge to carry out this mission. Or Tabata purposely did not show the fourth Zograt sibling in this rebellion, purposely leaving things out in the flashback just like he did in the Elf arc. Now, how does Beelzebub and Yuno fit into this equation? Well, let's explain. When Yuno used Spirit of Eurus and shot an arrow into Zenon's chest, this changed everything. Zenon asked Beelzebub to give him a devil's heart. However, since this is a devil's bargain, Zenon had to give up something in exchange, which Zenon replied saying, "I'll give you all of me." Pretty much his entire being. Zenon even goes further into this devil bargain, making a condition to this contract before Beelzebub takes the deal. Zenon asks if, as our contract stipulates, if the Spade Kingdom is able to continue existing, I'll even give you my soul. When Beelzebub heard this, he did hesitate for a split second. He had nothing to say. Almost like he was hesitating and thinking, why is Zenon making a decision like this? Because even if Zenon dies, this means that Beelzebub would have his soul and the Spade Kingdom will have to continue existing, which means that Zenon put Beelzebub in a position where if you want my soul, the Spade Kingdom has to continue existing. And since Beelzebub agreed to it, that means that to the terms, he has to protect the Spade Kingdom and will be responsible if the Spade Kingdom were to be destroyed. And we know how the saying goes, there is no country without its people. So that means that the people of the Spade Kingdom needs to be protected. And among those people also includes the Prince of the Spade Kingdom, which is Yuno, because Beelzebub is now bound by this devil bargain contract. This devil bargain contract and the further conditions that Zenon made with Beelzebub is so important because Zenon said that he will give him his soul, which means that when the fourth Zograt sibling, when this plot line of them coming back to life in undying bodies, Zenon may not be exactly Zenon, because Beelzebub will now have his soul, which is a way how Beelzebub can fully manifest within a human's body, which is probably in a case where he does not need to rely on the method of the Underworld being open, because now he has Zenon's soul. Very similar to the Megicula situation where she needed 3 of the same sex soul all to die to be fully manifested, even though she could manifest but not at full power because Aesir Silva was already dead, where Lord Bachika and Vanica are still alive. but she can still manifest without the gates being open. However, in Beelzebub's case, he can still manifest without the gates being open, but he will be at full power because he is not restricted like Megicula. This means if the Dark Triad returns, this is two possible routes for Zenon's character. Either he returns and he's sharing two souls of a devil and also his own soul, kind of like the Yuno and William effect, or Beelzebub will have his entire soul, which could ruin the plans of the fourth Zograt sibling because Beelzebub will feel obligated to protect Yuno and the Spade Kingdom. And if one of the rulers of the Underworld is working with the humans, this creates drama in the Underworld. So far, we only seen two of those rulers, that is Beelzebub, the Devil of Space, then we have the one of Gravity, which is Lucifero, then we have the Devil of Time, and we don't have an idea who that is. However, we have another devil that supports the three rulers, who is Lucifugus. Tabata made this character Lucifugus based off the reference to the devil on the tree of Cliftoff in the mythology lore, and that devil is Lucifuge. In Demonology, he supports the three rulers of hell, however, he is only a prime minister for Lucifer, and he only has strong respect for Lucifer, no other devil. So it's possible in the story of Black Clover that Lucifugus will not support Beelzebub if he turns coat and start working with the humans, despite the Devil Bargain contract. So in this rebellion, he will only side with Lucifero. Despite Lucifugus, there are devils in the story of Black Clover that may have something against Lucifer because Nama and Lilith, they tried to destroy the Spade Kingdom and also the ritual itself. And then Megicula tried to use Exploding Life by blowing up Lord Bachika, which would have destroyed everyone in the Spade Kingdom, also the whole ritual itself in return. It's like the twin devils in Megicula tried to prevent other devils coming out, but why? Even Megicula tried to be sneaky in her manifestation and did not try to tell Lucifer at all. That means that these devils have hidden vendettas against each other, and if the kings of the underworld are not at odds with one another because Beelzebub is helping Yuno, this can change everything. And even if the Dark Triad was to return and Beelzebub is restricted because he is in a human body, then that is okay because he can use Yuno's magic stone to summon him from the underworld. And the reason why we know that Yuno's magic stone has this power, because we saw it with Zagrid when he used the magic stone and said that within this stone there is a spell that can summon what you desire from the underworld, which means that if Yuno truly wanted to summon a devil from the underworld, a devil that he desired, it can happen. And the reason why this makes so much sense because this actually goes into the demonology lore of Beelzebub and King Solomon. In the Pseudo-P graphical text, the Testaments of Solomon, Beelzebub is the prince of demons and is controlled by King Solomon with the help of his magical ring. In these mythologies, Beelzebub truly did not want to work with King Solomon. However, he could not resist because he was controlled by King Solomon's magic ring, and because they made a deal. Now, the powers of this magic ring is very important because it's very similar to what Yuno's magic stone and the capabilities it has. Solomon received a supernatural ring from the Archangel Michael. Using the power of the ring, Solomon summons a full register of demons and can take over them. Now, I don't even need to read this entire thing because we already know what this sounds like. This sounds like Yuno's magic stone. However, instead of a ring, it is a stone, and Yuno has the capabilities to summon things from the underworld from this stone. King Solomon and Beelzebub, with the power of the magic ring, work together to take out other demons. We know that Tabata is a mythology junkie and he's using demonology, and he is implying that within the story. King Solomon and Beelzebub is a part of that mythology, the story of that magic ring. What's stopping Tabata from using Prince Yuno and King Beelzebub within the story of Black Clover and the magic stone and making a reference to that story and incorporating it here when it's perfectly set up for it? We know that Lucifero, now that he's out, he's trying to destroy the world, and right now currently in the Spade Kingdom, there is no hope for anybody if Lucifero was to destroy everyone, which he can. There's so many possibilities on what can happen, but this is just one prediction. Beelzebub and Yuno working together and joining forces with the humans, this will flip the underworld upside down. But you guys comment below and tell me what you think about this. Check out my other anime and manga content. You guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourselves. Stay blessed, and we out.